But this is actually the most important strategy that you need in order to be able to make 6 figures a year. And if that is your goal, then keep watching as I explain everything that I have done to make well over $100,000 a year in my business. So the first thing you need to do is grab a pen and paper to take notes. If you have a business journal, use that. And if you don't, it's just a journal. Use it for all of your business tips, things that you learn, everything. Make one for yourself, because every single entrepreneur has a journal to write down their notes, their ideas. Like literally, like I have so many of these journals, but I write down stuff from calls, from videos that I learned, from conversations that I have. Anytime I get an idea, I'm opening up my journal and I'm writing stuff in it. So this is step 1, if you don't already have that. But basically what I'm going to teach you is stuff that I've done and what I know other 6-figure plus entrepreneurs do in order to start and scale their income in their business. So let's dive in. The first thing that I did was set attainable goals for myself. And also I created a vision board. Now I know you've probably heard about vision boards before, but on this channel, I have a really old vision board video that I created years ago that went viral before I even knew what I was doing on YouTube. It's not the best video, but I've been doing vision boards for forever because they are so powerful. And every few months, I'm reevaluating my goals, and at least once a year, I create a vision board because I want to really visualize and see what I want to accomplish. And questions that I ask and set for myself include goals about money, relationship goals, lifestyle goals, materialistic goals. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to create a video on just goal setting alone, because there's a lot that goes into it and it's super, super powerful. So that was step 1, setting goals and creating a vision board. The second thing that I did was the Maniscripting method, and I do that every single day. Now, this is a manifestation method where you write down what you want to manifest, but you act as if you already have it. And I actually found this method so freaking powerful that I started sharing this technique with friends last year. And then when they started telling me that it was working for them, I knew I had to turn that into an actual physical journal, which I'll actually show you guys because I have right here on my desk. This is it right here. And you can actually click the link below this video to check out more about it. It's literally changed my entire life. So goal setting with creating a vision board plus doing this, game changer. So, and I do this every single morning. So now that I have a morning routine where I fill out a page inside this Maniscripting journal, I know what my goals are, then I take action on making them come true. And that's the biggest thing. You have to take inspired action, and you can only do that if you know where you want to head. So the first thing that I started building in my online business years and years ago, when I first started trying to do it, I tried to do it alone. I used literally like YouTube University. YouTube's amazing to learn. And I just tried to watch what everyone else was doing. And I was trying to like learn what they were doing by like watching them and how they structured their business from like the outside. But ultimately, I didn't get very far with that. And I knew I had to take a big leap to invest into my business. And I really had to hire a business coach. So I invested into my first business coaching program that cost me, I think about like $2,500, which at the time, $2,500 was a huge stretch for me. I literally did not have that money. And in fact, I was in debt about $30,000 at that time. So I actually had to use a credit card and max it out even more with $2,500. And it was so scary, but I was at a point where I'm like, if I don't do this, like I'm wasting my freaking time. So from there, I invested into a coach, and I literally learned all the pieces that I was missing from my business, and they gave me support with launching my online business, which literally changed my business for forever. And then I made it a goal. So moving on to the next thing, I made it a goal to read at least one book every 2 months. I wasn't much of a reader. I really sucked at it actually. And that's why it took me so long to read one book. But now I read a book, at least one book a month on business or self-development. And I want to share with you guys at least 5 of my favorite books that every entrepreneur should read. And I actually have them right here. So the first one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This is incredible and amazing. This really teach you to like not give a shit about what other people think, what other people's goals are for you. Like this really does help you just live the good life and just to go for your dreams. It's really, really good and inspirational. I have so many notes on this book, and that's another thing, you guys, too. If you get a hardcover, it's great to highlight, to take notes, or if you listen on Audible, I always have a pen and paper out and I'm taking notes on books and stuff, because that's how, me personally, I help retain the information. Next book I want to talk about is Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. This is so freaking powerful, because a lot of us here, and I'm sure you watching, we're creatives. We're creatives. We get these ideas, we get these downloads, and then we either take action on them or we're like, no, we're going to do that later. What I loved about this book is the power of getting that thought and idea, and how important it is to take action on it right away, because you got that download for a reason. And if you don't take action on it, so it's going to be passed on to somebody else. That's kind of how I like to explain it. So I really recommend this book, because just think about it this way. Have you guys ever thought of something and then like maybe a year later or a few months later, you're like, oh my God, I freaking thought of that first. Like I got that idea. Like I should have made it. This is what happens. This is the power of big magic of thinking, the thoughts, the creativity. So I highly, highly recommend this one, especially if you're a creative. Another one is, this is an old book, but a really good one. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. That's a really good one. Crushing It by Gary Vee. Now at this point, this book is, I would say, a little bit outdated. I think Gary Vee has a couple other books out already, but this one, I still think it's a really great beginner book, especially if you're just getting started on social media and you are just trying to learn the whole like influencer thing. This has a lot of really good foundational things in it, and it's a very easy read. And we all know Gary Vee is like the king of social media and just like business and all of that sort of stuff. So I do recommend everyone to read this one too, even though it's a little bit outdated. I think he has an updated book now, but still a really good read regardless. And then the last book that I don't have with me here, which I do recommend, is The One Thing by Gary Keller. Now again, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, as building businesses, we get tons of ideas. And the problem with that is we spread our attention too thin on too many projects, too many ideas, and then we don't accomplish anything. And then you can't grow and scale a business if you have, your eggs all over and not, all over the place, right? So what I love about The One Thing is it really teaches you how to kind of like niche down your focus onto that one thing. When that one thing starts growing and scaling for you, then go on to the next thing. But really, if you can train yourself to focus on something, even if it's for a month or 2 months or 3 months or something like that, have that be your main thing and then move on. So The One Thing by Gary Keller, huge, huge, huge book. So definitely recommend. I've put all the links for these books down in the description below, so you guys can easily check them out and grab them right off of Amazon and get them delivered. But yeah, these are the ones I highly, highly recommend. So now to keep myself motivated and educated on a daily basis, I also started listening to educational podcasts instead of music whenever possible. So actually right now to date, the only time I actually listen to music is when I'm working out, or I'm listening to binaural beats, which isn't really music, when I'm working and stuff. I just have it playing lightly in the background. And all other times I'm listening to podcasts that help me with business, help me with self-development or with spirituality. And I'm always writing down notes and gathering takeaways to implement into my life. And whenever I read or listen to anything, that is always the intention I set. What can I take away from this book or this podcast? What can I implement into my life, if anything? So I'm always on that mission, okay, what is my takeaway from this? So that way you're paying attention and you're really listening versus just passively listening. So it makes it almost like a fun game, oh, what am I going to take away from this 30-minute or 60-minute podcast? So the way that you can find relevant podcasts for you, I'd mention a couple of my favorites, but at the same time, depending on what you're doing in business, or just comment below if you want me to list some, because there's so many different ones I listen to, and it depends on where I'm at in my business that day or that week or that month. If I'm launching, I'm listening to more podcasts on business with launching tips. If I'm manufacturing my product, I'm listening to more Shopify podcasts and stuff with entrepreneurs that are creating products. If I'm diving more into spirituality and manifestation and law of attraction and wanting to learn more about that realm, I'm listening to a podcast about that. So all I recommend is either getting the podcast app, which you have on your iPhone, or even on Spotify. A lot of podcasts are now on Spotify, and there's other platforms too, but just type in the search bar, whatever that key term with what you want to learn about, is. And from there, you'll be a ton of different podcast episodes and podcasts will pull up, and then just start listening. Podcasts are freaking amazing. If you listen to interviews, you'll learn so much about how people have built their businesses and a lot of takeaways. So again, that's the importance of even having a business journal, entrepreneurial journal, so you can write those notes down and takeaways to start implementing them into your business too. So with doing all those things, setting goals, vision board, the Maniscripting method, reading books, investing in myself in coaches and programs, podcasts, literally doing all of these has changed my mindset in my life. And I learned from others that entrepreneurship takes commitment and consistency, and you have to put in the work, and it's a daily process. And by literally changing my lifestyle to incorporate all of these things, it seriously helped me with my personal self-development, that I was able to start making more money in my business because now I'm more confident, I'm more aligned, I know what I want, I know what it takes to get there. And it's like just that awesome game plan. So if you're stuck in your business and you're not seeing the results, I challenge you to start implementing at least one of these things that I've mentioned in this video today. It could be reading more books, could be listening to podcasts. Go hire that coach you've been thinking about. Go start setting those goals and create a vision board and report back to me with how it has changed your mindset, because I guarantee that it will. It is undoubtedly proven. If you start doing these things, you will grow and evolve. So with that, I want you to comment your biggest takeaway below this video, and definitely take a moment to even take a screenshot and share on Instagram stories and tag me and let me know what was your biggest takeaway. Because I know if you are watching this, you are ready to truly up level and become a better human. And I'm so excited to take you on a journey that will help raise your positive energy, help you open up your consciousness level, become a better entrepreneur, become a better person, and help you create more income, more impact, and scale your income and your business. So how does that sound? You guys like the sound of that? So make sure that you like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.